Coindepo released its own token already quite a while ago, or announced it, and we were seeing a couple of different pre-sale phases. I took part in the last pre-sale phase where I bought some coins. A couple of days ago, they finally announced when the listing begins, so you can see on their website. You have a very nice timer now counting down, and we will see in 12 days that we get the release. So it's the 21st of September or the 22nd of September, depending on where you are exactly, where we release the Coindepo token, which I think, for me at least, further proves that this company is viable and that they have a long-term plan in mind. So let's have a short look at the token and the tokenomics behind it. So let's have a look at the token itself and the tokenomics behind it. First of all, in the last pre-sale, we sold 200 million of those tokens. In total, we're planning to releasing initially 1 billion tokens, and they said it's never to be increased. We'll see about that. It's on the Ethereum chain, and it will be listed, or the goal is to list it for 10 cents. Where you can see here the token allocation, 20% goes or went to the pre-sales, 40% are for the airdrops, for interest payments, which I, for example, get. 20% are for the market, 12% for the team, 3% charity, 5% for marketing and further promotions. So in total, this adds up to 1 billion tokens, which is interesting in this is that they are saying basically, okay, we want to never increase the amount, and on the other hand, we are also planning to reduce the amount. So you can see here we are phrasing a repurchasing plan where we are planned to, over time, buy back and burn 500 million, so 50% of the total amount available. And this is basically from the income we are doing, and we will always announce that. So let's see how this goes. And in theory, if everything goes well, this should increase the value of the token itself. The other thing is, you normally I have not been on many listings itself, but the one or two I did was always a disaster because the price just dumped. But the token was released at once, and we are doing it differently. We are, over a course of time, unlocking the coins. So in this case, you will get every day for the first 90 days 0.2%, and afterwards, this is only from the pre-sale and private sale, and afterwards you will get 0.17% of the remaining per day. So this should, I think, in theory, prevent a bit of the pump and dump, because in the pre-sales, of course, you got it to a discount, at least if we assume the token will be worth 10 cents. I, for example, got it at 6 cents, but I also got some other bonuses, and the interest I already received, so I'll probably be currently more at 5 to 4 cents per token. And you could imagine investors are, if it really is at 10 cents, you could double your amount if completely would dump it. I mean, that would tank the price, so it's not really double, if everything would be released at once. So why would you even care? Is this token something for you? Well, if you're coming from any other of these interest earning platforms like Nexo, they did not reinvent the wheel. They were not very innovative, but as I already said, I think it's a good step in the right direction for the long term, because when you hold these tokens, you get benefits. You can see here we have this token advantage program, where you can find in their blog, and they basically give you more benefits the more of your total portfolio is Coindepo token. So for example, if you have more than 15%, so let's say you have a $1,000 portfolio, and more than $150 of those are in Coindepo token, you would be in tier 4. What does it mean? Well, you can see in the table, you can get up to 3%, or in this case 3% bonus on top of for your interest rate. So if you normally would go by 12% for your Bitcoin for the daily interest, you would now get 15%. The loan is reduced, your loaning rate is reduced by 3%. And you can also decide to not let yourself be paid in your currency, but in Coindepo token, and you would get a 2% additionally on top. I don't know about that one. I need to try that out to see if it makes sense. It also depends on how the price of this token itself will behave. As I am already a holder, I'm currently, if the price is really not moving much, I'm also currently in tier 4. But I will be looking at how it moves, or how the price changes when it is actually released. I think it was on 2 exchanges. I can remember BingX, but you can find it out probably somewhere in the announcement. And yeah, I think as I said already, this is every other bigger one is doing that, and I think it proves they have a long-term vision. We also know what they are doing, how the tokenomics looks good from that point, as well as the rewards. I mean, 3% more interest for Bitcoin, for example, is great. It's really great. And yeah, so should you buy it, or what my advice is? My advice is wait for the listing. You can't buy it currently anyway, and see how the price is moving. I think it will be tanking in the beginning. This is just my assumption. So maybe wait a couple of days, see when you tank, and then you get in if you want to have these benefits. It's not completely clear when these benefits are actually taken into place, so I highly doubt that we are starting from day 1, so from the 22 or 21st, but I don't know. And I also don't know how about the RPR. I currently get a very juicy 50% RPR on these tokens per day. So I currently get a very juicy 50% RPR, as I am currently still in the pre-sale phase, or well, in the in-between phase between pre-sale and launch. I don't know how this changes, so this would be something I would be looking into. If it still keeps this interest rate, you could also consider just getting some of these tokens. But apart from that, I just wanted to share the news, which I think are very, very looking good, and see you in the next one.